Hey guys, it's me Delta One here with AirSofttalk, and today I'm bringing you another Real Steel video, so deal with it. And this is a very special Real Steel video. What I have here is I'm gonna say it's a pretty high up there as in a rarity, like a Makarov in terms of rarity, because I've never seen one, and I live by Collector's Firearms. If you don't know who they are, they have stuff that technically no one knew was still available. They have a first-year Colt revolver, 3-digit serial numbers, in shootable, pristine condition. $289,000 for a revolver. Yeah, they've never had one of these, so I'm taking that as it's a rarity. This is a Russian double-stack Makarov. Now, the reason I say double-stack is because a normal Makarov uses something like this. This is a single-stack magazine. This is the magazine it uses. Now, you may be saying, if it's so rare, I bet you magazines are expensive. Whoa, couldn't be any more right. Magazines are as expensive as getting pleasured in Nevada, if you catch my drift. It's pretty expensive. And I'm sure there's going to be someone who's like, you go to the right place, it's cheap. You're weird. I'm just kidding. Now, this is a IJ7017AH Makarov, which is it says 380 on the side, which you may be saying, well, why would you want it in 380? 380 is pretty much stupid and is expensive, which is my opinion. And my camera's weird and unfocused, so do that, and we're focused again. Come on, hold on, guys, bear with me. There we go. Now, these, when they first imported these, came with 2 barrels because the Russians didn't want to get stuck with 9x18. I'm gonna guess this was imported in the early 90s, and the person I bought it from has confirmed that information because of where he bought it. You remember the AS Val that I had, the prototype? This was his, and we did a FFL transfer and traded pistols. Now, this is a really cool Makarov because I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I heard the double stack version was designed for the KGB, also known as the Russian Secret Police. Now, it is a bit wider. The only differences is the sight, which had that spring-loaded sight for the Makarov, which the Russians used, which was horrible and always came undone and was not very reliable as a setup because it was spring-loaded and it was just came loose like all the time. So I would not want that in a pistol. So basically, these sights were changed by the owner before me, and I prefer the sights that he has now, and it's more easy to shoot. Now, the magazines for this, like I said earlier, run roughly about $185 if you get a true Russian one, which will hold 12 or 11, depending. I've heard you can really get 12 in here if you really cram it. I've got 10 in it right now because I don't want to wear out the mag. Now, it's $185, man, for this. Now, I know ProMag makes some, and they're about $100, and I've heard nothing but bad things about them, because ProMag can kind of have some not so good products sometimes. So, if you do find them, and you can get them for about, I'd be willing to pay $100 just to have another one laying around. I'd really like to stay at 50, but you may be saying, well, that kind of seems pointless if you bought it as a sheer investment, which is kind of lame, because something like this I really like to go and shoot. However, Russia is just a smart gun manufacturing part of the world. I'm not going to lie, they're pretty damn smart. They were like, well, you know, why don't we just make it work with the other mags too? And that's weird, because you think about it, you put something like this in here, you think it's going to fit, and then you see it and you hear the click, and the mag ain't coming out. Now, let me unfocus my camera. Come on. There we go. Nope. Sorry guys, I apologize. I'm using my webcam. There we go. Now, I was like, you hear it wobbling around, and I thought this thing would misfeed, fail to feed, not misfires, but just not work very well at all. I tell you what, I did not have one jam, and I fired 200 rounds. I was legitimately just blown away. I could not believe that. Now, if you're wondering, well, that's just a Makarov, here's really the comparison I'm going to give you. Here's where they're really going to stand out. You can see how much wider they are. The slides aren't interchangeable on both of them. I know this one, the Doublestack one, will work on here, but this one will not work on here. So this is a Bulgarian Makarov, and it's actually made on my birthday. Can you believe that? It was made the year I was born. I'm going to call it close enough to my birthday. Now, this has been my trusty pistol for quite a while, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Only thing I don't like is the mag extractor, but if I can't hit where I need to shoot with 8 rounds, then I have no business behind the gun. Now, the safety on here is just standard. The reason I like this so much is I've heard there was only a number of 2,000 imported. I could be wrong. That's what I've heard. Now, the trigger and the slide and how everything operates in this is much better than my Bulgarian. I thought my Bulgarian was pretty good till I got to fondle with the Russian one, and I was like, okay, I see how this is superior. Now, disassembly to this is fantastic. Literally, that's all you do, and everything's good and whatnot. The only con to a Makarov, so I've been told by a good buddy of mine, is that you can't get any trigger work done to it. You can't get a lighter trigger, heavier trigger, because of the way it's designed. That's what I've heard. I talked to my gunsmith. He obviously said I was wrong, and I just said, okay, well, that's what I was told. This is new information to me. So I'm not doubting him, but I'm just saying I don't know. Now, this Makarov in particular was made in the Ishmish factory, and so, like I said, the 380, I forgot to mention that. I got off track. It says 380 on the slide. They came with a 380 barrel and a 9x18, and they sent them over here. This was pressed in with the 9x18 and replaced the 380, which is, I don't like it. I think it's expensive, and if you're gonna do a 380 compact, you may as well just get a 9mm compact. I don't like the 380. I'm just saying. But they did make these in 9mm. There was some converted, and I would highly recommend you stay away from them because they were not very reliable. Now, however, I need to get the feed ramp polished on both of my Makarovs, so I had some minor jamming issues, but I found out later on my feed ramps really needed some work. So, other than that, this is one of the coolest pistols I own. It does function in my EFK holster, the Spetsnaz holster. It does work in it, which is awesome. And the grip is wide compared to the standard Makarov. Personally, if I had the choice of everyday carry, I'd probably carry the other one just because it's a little slimmer and it's more comfortable and I'm more accurate with it. But then yet again, I've only shot this once at the range. I haven't gotten completely familiar with it. Now, however, this is also one of the world's most expensive bottle openers. What you do is you lock your slide back like so, put your alcoholic beverages or Coca-Cola for you underage people, or your super fancy Capri Suns, and you put it under the bottle cap, and the top of the bottle cap will rest right here, and you pop it open. It's fantastic. I look for every opportunity when I have a nice Dos Equis here and there with my friends to pull this out and go when we're at the house, not in public, though you could publicly open carry an AK-47 in Texas, but God forbid you open carry a pistol. That's forbidden. Yeah, I know, it's pretty dumb, but our wonderful governor's trying to get that, make it open carry legal, which is awesome. But other than that, I would really recommend you pick up a Makarov. They are a great and extremely accurate pistol. I've actually made more accurate shots with this than my Glock. You know, my neighbor is a professional pistol competition shooter, and he hit a wooden ship clip at 100 yards with this. Like, that's cool. I'm pretty sure you could definitely do that with a Glock, but for a pistol that was designed in the 50s, that's pretty impressive to me. But I'm sure there's some real steel buffs out there that are going to be like, oh, any pistol could do that. But yeah, I don't know, I just like this because it's a piece of history. You know, maybe it was used by the KGB. We'll never know. But, you know, it's just a cool pistol. I love pistols like this that have history behind them. I would much rather own something like this than just a standard 45 because, you know, like a Kimber, because I prefer to have history behind this because they're never going to make these again. They just aren't. They make Kimbers all the time. But yeah, the build quality is better than the Bulgarian, like I said. And it's just a cool pistol. Shoots the 9x18, which is literally a hair bigger than the 380, but the ballistics on the 9x18 are just better. And the fact the ammo is $10 a box for this, and if you want hollow points from like Silver Bear, they're like $12. But yeah, I just prefer history behind my firearms. But anyways, guys, I hope I wasn't rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, life is good.